What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the post-mortem of the game. Manchester United have just lost to Galatasaray 3-2 at home. That's our second loss in the group stage out of 2 games. That's our 6th loss out of 10 games in total. And Man United are currently in a crisis at the moment. So many things to talk about. I mean, Onana's the obvious one, so maybe we probably should just start there. Adam, how horrific was that mistake, and how much pressure is on him now, considering the reason why we brought him in? You think that everything that happened with David De Gea, Onana comes into the fold, and then this has happened. It's just like what can you say about that?
I know Gary Neville did say it was probably the most criticised position in world football, being the Manchester United #1. But it seems that Onana had this confidence to come in, but he's playing like somebody who has no confidence. And what we're seeing too is we brought him in for quality on the ball, quality in passing, and also kind of sweeping as well and being off his line. We haven't really seen any of that. All these qualities that he's good at, we haven't seen him actually perform any of them. And
Well, he was going long quite a lot today, weren't
yeah,
we? Like, because of our centre back, because of the progressive play from them, there wasn't much in their locker, so you could see us going long quite a lot, couldn't we?
But it's also a stat that I saw on Twitter as well that I think, has the lowest success rate in terms of long passes from any goalkeeper in the Premier League this season. And that's something he's meant to be good at. It's not looking good for him right now. I can't really remember a keeper having potentially a worse start than this now. Not just in terms of results, but the mistakes he's making. And I know De Gea made mistakes at the start, but this is nearly every single game now, and it's costly at this level. One goal can make the difference, and it's what happened. I know the penalty was missed, but then we're down to 10 men. We are. And we're under the cosh then. And he's probably going to come out and do not a press conference, but an interview then after the game, post-match interview, saying, "Oh, I take full responsibility." Well, you need to start showing it too on the pitch and actually delivering.
Yeah, absolutely. Trevor, you look visibly frustrated, so unfortunately I'm not going to have to come to you, mate, because I know you're probably not like in the mood talking right now, but how would you assess that performance from Manchester United?
Speechless, man. Like, I think reality has set in, and I will urge every single Manchester United fan watching this now is you need to grow some thick skin, because this is not the last of it. Like, we are in for a fucking ride, and it's gonna take some time. I know that eventually it will pay off. I mean, we'll start to see the results, but it will take some time, and this isn't going to be over anytime soon. You know, I thought it was going to be over soon. I thought, yeah, we'll get one win, but this is far from over. And reality just sunk in. If this is how we're playing Galatasaray, like it's a Champions League final, like if we can't be convincing against these people for half an hour, right? Then what are we talking about here? Everything down, there were very good performances, and this is what really hurts me, because there's quite a few players there who didn't deserve this result.
I feel sorry for Hojlund, man.
Hojlund played well. Hannibal is a young kid, but he did his part at the end of the day. Mason Mount is growing on me. I was one of his biggest critics. He's growing on me. He's coming back. Like, he needed a win, or he needed some kind of performance. Like, imagine dragging yourself back from all the bad performances, coming on the pitch today to get some kind of positive result, and then we just let them down like that. And it's the common denominator. I said this last time. Marcus Rashford and Bruno offered nothing today. Rashford crossed the ball for the goal, yes,
But equally had that opportunity where he squared it when he should have drilled it as well.
So I mean, yeah. So yeah, and then it just, nothing ever happened. Like, it just, I don't remember who said it. Was it you, Nick, who said last time that the ball goes to die when he gets to Marcus Rashford? Somebody mentioned it. I don't remember who it was. And that's how we felt today. And even when we needed our captain to kind of put us, both of them were like our worst players today. And it so happens that when they didn't play, we played well. This manager has been talking about standards, and he's He showed us standards with Ronaldo. He made the big decisions with Harry Maguire. He makes big decisions all the time. Now is the time to show us that you really mean what you're talking about. And I really want to see that. Now, I'm not calling for his head. I'll back this guy to the end because I can see that in the long term, everything will pay off. Like Arsenal finished 8th and 5th. And then now they're reaping the benefits of showing patience. So whilst we can show patience with the manager in terms of persevering with him, it doesn't mean that we can't hold him accountable for certain decisions that he's making.
Yeah.
And right now, he really needs to show us this standards he's talking about and stop this favoritism, this double standard that he's showing. Because if I'm Martial and if I'm Garnacho and I'm seeing that, I'm getting angry. And as a fan, if I hear they're angry, I'm not going to get on their backs because I understand where they're coming from. I'm pissed off. We left this guy in the game for so long, brought Martial on at the end and see what happened. Like, you could see some plays already with Garnacho in, almost giving us a couple of goals. He was lively when he came on. And why do we have to only see 10 minutes of that and we have to keep up with 70 minutes of that bullshit from Marcus Rashford? If I see him on the... what was the question you asked me? I can't remember.
I don't even know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, mate. It doesn't even matter. I did ask about Onana, but it spirals off into other frustrations because that wasn't the only incident. That wasn't the only incident of the game. Sam, it's hard to ask this question because of the result and because of everything that's happening there. But do you think we actually played that bad watching the game?
Going forward, I think we were pretty good. I thought we offered a lot. I know you guys were praising Mason Mount. I think he was decent. I'm not fully on the Mason Mount train like you guys are, like saying he's amazing and that. I'm not there yet, but he did decent. I thought Hojlund was unbelievable. Like, that kid is something special. And that guy dragged us through that game as a 20-year-old kid who's never played for us before and showed more fight and desire than a lot of players who've been here a long time. So that guy was really, really good. I thought the midfield, Casemiro was excellent. I thought he was good. I agree with Chivy. Rashford offered next to nothing. The assist aside, there's the moment again where he should have drilled it and he tries to cut it back. And not only does he cut it back, he cuts it back with a shit pass, which is behind Bruno. Instead of putting him onto the ball and it's a tap-in. Like, if you're going to make the pass, at least make it a good one. At least make it easier for the guy. But there's that. Bruno, again, missing. Like, just went missing during that game. And then, like you said, Chivy, that game was crying out for Garnacho at like 60 minutes or something like that. It was crying out for him. Take Rashford off, bring him on. Didn't happen till too late. Martial came on for the, 5 minutes and looked decent, created a chance. Like, some guys just need to be dropped. I mean, I know you mentioned Onana in the beginning. Give Bayende a run. Give Tom Heaton a run. I don't give a shit who at this point. You know what I mean? Like, just give some...
Well, the reason why he didn't play Bayende, this is just from the manager, Sam, in the League Cup, let's say, for example, says because he wasn't at the standards or the
well, neither is Onana. Yeah. He's not the Champions League. This is a Champions League goalkeeper who went to a final and played well, and he can't stop shots. Like, he can't stop shots, and then when his one strength is passing out from the back, and he's passing a straight ball across his own penalty area.
That's so bad. Yeah, it was criminal.
Why?
That. And before that, Sam, before that, he made that. Do you know when they put the ball in for the cross, and he just tipped it into the player? And you're like, what are you doing there, man? Do you think the pressure's eating him?
Oh yeah, it's definitely is it Gary Neville who said the most highly pressurized position at Manchester United is the goalkeeper. And it's wearing on him right now. It's fucking wearing on him. Yeah. And he needs taken out of the team. Like, he just needs a break from this. He's not handling it at all well. Like, let me know what he offers positively, because I don't know. Shot stopping, no. Pass it out for the back. Yeah, I think Adam mentioned he's not made a successful pass out for the back. He's on the ball. He's costing us mistakes. He's offering nothing. Like, nothing. Yeah. And that's 2 mistakes in the Champions League now in vital games. Bayern Munich and that. And then he was probably at fault for a couple of goals in the other games. And it's just, it's frustrating, man. I thought the attack and a lot of the midfield played really, really well. Defensively, awful.
Oh, mate.
Awful.
The defensive play is...
Varane got nutmegged on one of the goals. which I've never seen before. Like how we allowed a guy to run in between. I think was it Dallo and Varane. He just ran straight between them.
Just the midfielder, not
Just nobody there,
Lindelof.
like nobody marking him, and he's just got free. Like, yeah, we could go on forever, really, couldn't we? Like, we could go on forever.
I mean, how many fucking times have like you go watch any of the games and the goals that we've conceded in them games? It is always midfield runners not picking the man up. The Bayern Munich game was the exact same. They just squared it back into that space on the edge of the 18-yard box, and they finished. I mean, I don't know how many goals need to go in from that like action to realise that you need to track your runners, man. It's just simple shit. You teach that in like Sunday League, man. Track your runners, touch tight. Defensively is concerning it, Adam, because you look at our back line. The reason why we couldn't really progress from the back is because Varane's not amazing on the ball. He's great in terms of individual, physicality, aerial ability, etc. as a leader. Lindelof is okay on the ball, but then still looks a little bit, when you pressure him a little bit, looks a little bit shaky. Amrabat at left back, you're like, Dallo was on a yellow card against Zaha, so this defence now, I mean, I'm not even sure when Reguilon's back, to be honest with you, but it looks like we're going to concede.
November.
Is that when he's back?
Yeah. After the international break, at the end of October.
Do you know we've got the end of October as well?
City.
Yeah, Man City. Adam, talk to me about our defence and your thoughts on it today, please.
I think we're actually really, really suffering from not having any fullbacks. It's really, really eating into the team. And look, Amrabat at times has looked like, especially against Palace, was hands down one of the best players on the pitch. Yeah. But we want to see him in the middle, and I know he's kind of doing that inverted kind of full-back position, but what we lack then is width on that side. I think we're actually missing the likes of Luke Shaw. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a big miss as well. I don't think Zaha would have had a sniff tonight if he was playing.
That goal that Zaha
really
scored.
It's
a fucking lot. It's such a simple long ball to the box, and Dallo, you just attack it early, get it away. When you let it bounce there, it's like you leave yourself prone.
That's the thing. I don't.
Sorry, Adam.
Yeah.
Rio's just said on TNT. The amount of goals Man United concede as crosses and cutbacks is seriously alarming, and that's from a world-class centre-back in Rio Ferdinand. So,
And one of the first things you're taught as when you're a defender is don't let the ball bounce. Get your head on it. I don't know why. I don't know why he's so concerned about the man there. Like, if you win the ball, that situation doesn't happen. Then I know we give away the ball very, very cheaply for the winning goal in the end, and they walk right through us. The defense made it easy for them. It's like we just opened the gates and said, "Here you go, just walk in." Keeper at fault for a lot of that game, but the centre halves haven't looked good. Varane hasn't looked good, and he's coming out then saying that we're good enough to actually win the competition. Yeah. Are we even going to? It's looking like we're not going to even get out of the group.
We won't qualify.
We're not going to get into Europa League at this rate. Like, won't even finish
I'd rather not. I'd tell you now, if we're going to drop out, I'd rather not go in the fucking Europa League. I'd rather just play in the league and the League Cups. To be honest with you.
Sad reality is it could be our way into the Champions League next season.
Yeah.
If we do drop down. But I'm just sick of that music. I just want to hear Champions League music, and it's haunting now, actually. We're going in it's like, the thought of going into a game, you're getting excited, and then you watch it and you're just deflated, and it's like kind of going back, say, with an ex that is super toxic, and you still go back, constant, going over and again, repeating the same cycle, and nothing changes. But something needs to give. It does. And maybe that starts with the fans. I think tonight was the first time I heard Old Trafford actually boo very, very loudly as well. So I hope that echoes in their heads, particularly the defence.
Yeah. It seems like a long, long road at the moment. It's strange, Shiva, because I actually see positives in this game, just speaking specifically from an individual point, because I thought Casemiro played well. Eriksen, when he came onto the pitch, played well. Mount was decent. Casemiro's going to be fucking livid with Onana with that, because he's basically got him sent off there. He's had to lunge in for that. He's going to miss the next game now. I'm not sure how many games did he miss. Did he just miss one? If you get a red card?
He's 2 yellows in it. 2 yellows, so he's...
Right, so it's just a one game against Dinger. But yeah, just your thoughts on the midfield and Casemiro's performance, because I thought in particular he was decent.
Yeah, I don't think we were crap. Right? There were spells in the game where it was actually rubbish. I remember I was saying to you guys, like, I just put the ball on the floor and play. Like, what's this zipping thing they keep doing? Just hoofing it forward. And I realized that during the preseason, I said this, like, I see what he's trying to do with this new style of play. And when he does get it, I think it will be will be deadly. But this is what I was saying about having thick skin. It will take some time before we get there. And I can't help but it's frustrating to watch sometimes. Like, I mean, it's not Man City. It's not Barcelona. It's not you can't play through Galatasaray. I don't understand it. Like, just put it down and play.
Sorry, Chivit. With the individuals we've got though, do you understand why he's gone that route of playing that style?
Yeah. I do. But then, so I remember when you said, I think you said in the group chat something about somebody said it, I don't know, about taking control of the game. And then I said we don't have the players that would take control of the game because we just have these guys who just bang the ball forward and just run towards it. Back to your question. Sorry, I keep diverting.
No, it's my fault.
Yeah, no. It's my fault. I was so happy with Casemiro today in terms of like his performances. And I forgot that it was raining and the pitch was a bit slippery. So there were a few times when the ball was kind of like, the ball came to him and it was kind of like away from him. So he had to stretch to get it and all that. But apart from that, his awareness is just, I mean, he spots all the runs. There was a time when he had the ball and he expects Dalot to go for it and then he plays it forward. And Dalot doesn't go. He's ripping into him. It's like, because I'm screaming too, like, run. You know? So I just love that leadership that he brings. And everyone thinks he's this number 6. But we seem to underrate his attacking abilities as well and his ability to be able to spot a pass, create chances.
Yeah.
And he was just really good. And I just wish, we had our fullbacks back so you can have someone like Amrabat next to him. Because like I said, I don't think we were crap. There were spells where we were terrible, but there are positives to take from this. And individual errors kind of made us lose this game, but I'm so happy that we have a player like that. And it's just a shame, that after, today could have been such a positive day. And putting in such a performance like that had to be let down by certain individuals.
Well, Sam, Chivy makes a point there about, certain individuals have been let down here, sorry. Rasmus Hojlund being one of them was the brightest spark for me, to be honest. Like the way he took his goals. Not even just that, they're the obvious things to talk about, but the way he brought players in with him, like as soon as he got the ball to his chest, he'd hold off 2, 3, multiple defenders, drag it out wide and get his team, into the final third, which we've lacked for so long with that number 9. I mean, Martial can do it to a certain extent, but I just mean, speaking from a pure physical sense, he was just holding him off. How impressive was he today? Because I want to try to talk about something positive. That result was fucking awful.
I mean, I got a bit giddy when he scored the second goal. And I was like, typing up the graphic Hero Hojlund or Danish Delight, and I was like, we've got one here. We've got a kid here who's something special, and obviously we chucked it away, not because of him, but because of our defenders. But yeah, somebody said it in the chat. It might have been Aaron or it might have been Adam, but he was very Harry Kane-esque in the way he was playing. Like, he'd get the ball deep, like you said, blitz through about 3 defenders, get rid of those fuckers, and then he'd look for Rashford on the side, like pass it out to him, I'll pass it out to Amrabat, and then get into the box and get his opportunity. The goal where he dinks it over the goalkeeper, the confidence and the balls to do that as a 20-year-old kid.
Composure, man.
20 years.
He's charging it down, and I'm thinking, he's going to like a low shot to the corner. And then he's just going there. I'm sure like the keeper was equally like, something like, what is this? He literally, honestly, I was just like, the composure,
like to do that is that kid's got something, man. He's really got something. We've got a player here And like you said, like with Chivy, he's been let down by his defenders because he single-handedly grabbed that game by the scruff of the neck and had us in a winning position, and then our defenders chucked it away. And it's just like we've said in previous games, he wasn't getting the service, he wasn't getting the ball enough. We've seen what he can do now. When he gets the ball, when he's got the service, he's got the likes of Mount around him and Ericsson feeding him and people like Casemiro. He will cause chaos. He will cause goals. He will do things.
I like what you said about not getting the service. And I remember when Rashford. I this is not like a Rashford bashing thing, but I remember when Rashford played the number 9, and when he didn't get service, we never saw him, right? Yep. But Hojlund goes and looks for the ball.
Yeah, he wants to get on the ball, like he wants it.
Yeah, he goes back to find it, and that's what. And I love the way. And this is how he reads the game, steals the ball into for the second goal. Like we've been crying out for a centre forward for since Cavani left, like a proper centre forward.
Yeah. He reminds me kind of like Rude in a way, kind of that goal. It reminds me of that. Yeah. Something
always in the box.
Like that. Yeah,
always in the box, ready for when the surface is in the perfect place as well. Happened with Garnacho when he put it across the box and he just missed it. He scored a goal that was offside. Don't forget that he took really, really well as well.
But we're not doing that enough for him.
No,
nowhere near enough, and I think that's an issue as well for the wingers. We're not creating enough chances for him. And I'm seeing links today to someone like Pedro Neto. I'd take him in a heartbeat at this rate.
Yeah, well, the way Marcus Rashford's playing, like it's one of them. I honestly.
Do you remember that period, like those periods where I used to say it all the time on this channel, in particular to you, Nick, when our defence plays well, our attack is shite. And then when our attack plays well, our defence is shit. We can never like combine the two. Like we never got a point where every part of the pitch is playing well. Today, attack was decent, midfield was decent, defence and goalkeeper absolutely shite. Last year, our defence was fucking rock solid. Nobody's getting passes. We could not score a goal to save our lives last season. Rashford aside, could not score. Now we've got the opposite problem. And it's just like, for fuck, can we just have one game where we can do both? Just one.
Well, we've got 40-odd people in the chat, so keep getting your comments and I'll try and read a couple out now. I mean, straight off the bat, Lewis saying 17 goals in 9 games. Onana is well good. I don't think that's just Onana. Onana's been shit. Don't get me wrong, but that's the defence as well. I don't think the defence has been particularly very good. Get out of my beautiful club, 10 Shag, says R. Sharma. Jesus. First choice defender on the pitch is not helpful against any team. UTFR says, I'm going in Saturday, then I'm done with travelling miles and spending a fortune to watch that. The tourists can have my season ticket. Very strong words there from
Don't blame him. Don't blame him.
Don't blame him at all. Andy Williams saying, so we are going back to Thursday. I mean, if I have to hear that, I'm done, mate, this season.
I don't want to watch United against the Cypriot champions. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I just don't need to see it.
We played today against the fucking Turkish team that's not even first in their league. They're like second or third, I think. So, yeah. Dan Everton saying, I can see it now. United versus Liverpool in Europa League final. Oh my god. Yes, Hojlund, at least something to build on. Lazy Gummers says there's no belief in the team. It does look flaky, doesn't it? That's the thing, that the mentality in the team to concede
so weak,
so quickly as well after we score. It's like, I don't get how you can be that sleepy.
6 minutes.
I don't understand it.
6 minutes.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, we scored and then 6 minutes conceded. Yeah. Like me and Chivy been saying in the group chat for the last couple of weeks, we are play well for 20 minutes FC, and then we just fucking give up. We just give up, literally. Like
it's very strange, and people might kind of come for me in the comments with this, and I'm gonna kind of, I can see, like we said before, I can actually see what Ten Hag is trying to do, and I think when you have everyone available and you have a consistent run of games with that team, I can see it working, and I think we could be deadly as fuck, especially in this kind of competition. But when you've got no senior left-back fit at all and Amrabat playing there, your main centre-back, who has been injured since the start of the season anyway, so yes, he's been playing shit, but obviously he had a problem with his foot. He's had to have surgery again, so he's not in there. So your progression from the back completely fails because he's your number one go-to guy to progress it through the back. Your right back, I mean, Wan-Bissaka should be there going up against Wilfried Zaha. And then your midfield needs time to work together. But because we're missing players in certain areas, no Sancho or Anthony, Bruno's going out on the wing, Hannibal's coming in. They're chopping and changing everywhere. It's impossible to implement a style of play anyway when it's not pre-season and you've got games twice, 2-3 times a week. When you're trying to do it in this circumstance now, it's almost fucking impossible. And you can't go on.
Sorry, no, finish. Sorry.
I was just going to say, and you can't go back, you can't reset, because then it's like, oh, well, all the players are sat there thinking, well, you don't believe in what you're doing. You've had to go, you've had to change and go back to back to basics, basically, or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah.
So these are very, very valid points that you've raised, like very valid, and I agree with all of them. But then this is where you need the so-called big players or the senior players.
Yes,
right.
To step up.
Exactly. This is where we need, because what were we just talking about before you said that? We're talking about mentality, right? And this is when we need them to show that maturity, that mentality. And it so happens that it's when Gore comes on or Hannibal comes on that we see a little bit of hunger and desire from Garnacho. These are the people we're seeing desire from. Of course, we see that from Casemiro, right? But then he's just one player. But we need to see more of that across the board. Now, Sam, I remember early on you were saying about Mason Mount and you weren't too thrilled. And I get that. But the reason why I was actually quite thrilled, well, I was satisfied with him today was what we're saying. He, from the first minute, I saw him hustle the ball off someone. And that's what I want to see. And he was keeping it very, very simple. He gets the ball, gives it, goes. Like, he's not wasting time. You can tell he's got a clear head. He's not all over, he's not foggy. He knows what he's going to do before the ball even gets to him. I don't need him to be Kevin De Bruyne, right? I don't need him to be Odegaard. Just need him to do what he needs to do. And for now, that kind of works. And that's what I was really, really happy about seeing him, because he looked lively. But then everyone else just looks like they're tired, like they can't be asked. And then, it's so we need that mentality in the team. This is where the big players need to step up and actually prove their worth. When the team is in a crisis, I don't need you to be this big guy when we're winning. It's when we need you when we're falling back. When this is when we need you the most. And if you can't show us now,
this is where the captain comes in, like Bruno Fernandes.
Exactly.
What is he doing? He's had one good game. I'm sick of saying this because I say it all the time. He's had one good game against Nottingham Forest. Apart from that, I don't see him doing anything. I don't care if he's on the right-hand side or whatever. You ask De Bruyne to go out on the right-hand side, he puts in a fucking shift. He'll probably get an assist for Erling Haaland. He'll do the job there. He does not. He continues to not show up in games. And he's another one. He's in the same bracket as Marcus Rashford. Just fucking drop him.
And I'll just say one more thing. Sorry. It's just that I think when the pressure mounts on, he kind of tries to force things. In the last 2 minutes of the game, we kind of were building up the game, and he gets the ball and he tries to play it wide, and then he literally just plays it into an opposition player. Like, he's forcing it too much sometimes, and he just shows me that he can't handle the pressure.
You know what really annoyed me? In the first, I think it was like the first 8-9 minutes, he gets the ball into the box. Instead of just laying off a simple pass, he tries to fucking Rabona it. Like, why?
I saw that.
Why are you doing that, Lan? Like, this is not the
to
time. Like, this is not the time to show off. This is the first fucking 8 minutes of the game, lad. Like, just play the ball, get the goal. When we're 4-0 up, show off all the fuck you want. That's fine.
Yeah.
When you're still nil in the first 10 minutes, leave it off with that shite, mate. Like, it's just not need for it at all.
Somebody made a good point in the comments. We need to stop playing people out of position as well. I know we're kind of forced to as well at the moment, but I don't know why we allowed the likes of, was it Alvaro Fernandez, the left back, to leave. Like, why did we let that on the final day? Was it of the window as well?
Yeah.
And now we're playing a defensive midfielder in the left back position, and it's just we don't have width. Amrabat isn't that player that's going to run down, do an overlapping runs, get the ball into the box, which is what we need to be doing to feed the likes of Hojlund as well. But we're not seeing it now.
No.
We need the natural players in their natural position. And I know we signed Reguilon for that, but again, somebody else is injured, and that says a lot for what's going on with the medical team, because there needs to be a lot of questions asked there. What the fuck is happening there? and why one player was playing through painkillers and now he's out for another 3-4 months.
Well, when you sign an injury-prone left-back, which Serge Reguilon is, because he only played like 11 games for Atletico on loan last season, that's the risk you take, innit? That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you bring him in, and now we're playing fucking Amrabat at left-back. We've got 50-odd people in the chat. Continue to let us know your thoughts on the game. Leave a like on the video if you thought that performance was dog shit, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Obviously, all your voices and opinions are equally as important.
Yeah, on that point on the left back, like if we've played Brandon Williams there before, like consistently, why can't we just play Alvaro there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not the only decision this year though, or this season. It's just been.
Yeah,
you can tell they're just confusing at the club, isn't there? All around, to be honest, on and off the pitch. Lads, where does this leave us for the Brentford game then? How are we all feeling ahead of that on Saturday at 3:00? Because we expected a reaction today against Galatasaray. I mean, we got it to a certain extent, but when things like that, people make individual errors, it makes winning football games almost impossible. So, do you think if you're Ten Hag in that dugout, in the dressing room, whatever, do you need to start dropping big players now ahead of that game?
He's not gonna, is he? Because he should now. He should have done this game. He should have dropped Rashford for this game. He should have dropped Bruno for this game. Like, we've actually got players that we can play there. Like, Garnacho can play there. Mount can play in the 10. Eriksen can play in the 10. Like, we've got players who can replace them. This is not like a fullback situation like Dalot, where if he plays shit, we've got nobody to replace him because we've got no fit fullbacks. Like, we have these positions available. We can play them, and they're not getting dropped. And if they're not getting dropped now, they ain't ever getting dropped. Like, this is clearly who Ten Hag is going to persist through this, because they're capable of magic and they're capable of great things at times, even though they've not showed it once this season. They're capable of it, so he's just going to persist with it the same way he persists with Anthony. Even when Anthony has bad games, he persists with it. So this may be part of Ten Hag's stubbornness. Maybe he's trying to play him into form. I don't know which one it is, but they're not going to get dropped. So for us to think they are is just sort of wishful thinking, because it ain't going to happen.
Yeah. Chive, Adam, how do you feel going into this game now, this Brentford game? Because if we have another loss there, I mean, we're already in a crisis.
Positive.
Go on.
There's one positive. It's a 3:00 kickoff. It's not in the fucking telly, so it'll be more difficult to watch.
Yeah, I mean, try to find a silver lining somewhere. I mean, I'm just reading. This is from sorry, Chive, just before you do. This is from a 20-year-old kid, Rasmus, right? This quote, saying, "We need to remember we can't concede goals after we score. We've had a few games now where that's happened. It's a tough period, but we need to stick together. That's the only way we'll get out of it." It's a 20-year-old kid talking about that. Like, it's just, what a fucking mess.
That dressing room is going to be in turmoil for a couple of days now. Like, you know, because people are going to start calling. Because now, if I'm a bench player, I can call out people who, you know, some of the people in the starting lineup.
Maguire could rightfully go,
exactly.
I should be in this. They're playing like, you drop me for playing like shit. They're playing like shit. Drop them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what you said about Sancho, Chive, as well, where they're playing favourites and doing this, and it's like, well, why can't I get an opportunity? Bruno's done out there. Why can't I get an opportunity on the right hand side?
We're saying this in the chat. I can't remember what we were saying, but then we're like, we need to change. And then I don't know if it was me or Sam. Somebody said, I was like, he's going to play Anthony before Garnacho and Martial.
Yeah.
And and he's done that true to form. He brought Anthony hasn't played, I don't know, has he trained? Like,
I said that in the preview, didn't I, Nick? I was saying, like, he hasn't team trained because he's been in Brazil, and it's like he might have been in the gym, but it's not the same, is it? Like,
he's had one or two sets. So he had a session on Saturday, and then he had, I think, a light session just before, yesterday, I think it was. But obviously, Garnacho and Martial have been playing consistently since the start of the season.
Exactly.
So it's not even questionable, really, is it?
Just one positive on Saturday, and something that I'm sure all of us can agree on, is that for the first 20 minutes, right, will be really good. I can assure you.
We're gonna have to score like 4 goals, Chivy. Chivy, 4 goals in the first 20 minutes is the only way we're winning this game. Otherwise,
well, that's what.
Good.
I was gonna say, the last time we played against Brentford, we conceded 4 in 30 minutes.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So, look, they'll be certainly looking at that Brentford, who've not even been informed themselves, by the way,
No.
who have been pretty shit without an Ivan Toney. They'll be looking at us and they'll be like, they are leaking. We
Yeah.
can seriously hurt them on the counter-attack.
This is
Like,
relegation.
Should turn
form.
up, not them.
Yeah.
This sort, and then Burno will be looking at that defence tonight and they'll be like, can't wait. That is goals.
Can you
galore.
imagine if they had Ivan Toney? We'd just get torn to pieces.
Butchered, mate.
We'd just be like ripped open.
Bro, this relegation form we're showing.
Oh, yeah,
6.
yeah.
How many losses? 6.
We've
and 10.
6 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah, this is relegation form, and Brentford will be looking to pick up points against Man United. Like,
Yeah. And the games that we've won, the Wolves game, we shouldn't have even won. Like, we were
Yeah.
lucky to get out of that game. The Forest game, we went 2 down and had
Yeah.
to bring it back. So there's question marks on every game at the
and
moment.
Burnley. Remember
Yeah.
that shit? Bro? It
Yeah.
just took one moment of brilliance, and then we
With-
scored. So
The one moment of brilliance was the like stuff we did under Ollie. Do you remember? That's what he just the whole game he was just waiting for Rashford or Bruno or Ronaldo to do something. That was the
Exactly.
entire season.
Yeah, it's crazy.
this is not going to end anytime soon, and I remember, and it's going to take a while. Nick, you mentioned earlier about when we're talking about the goal, about tracking the runners going in. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed this as well. Like, I can understand how confusing it is, because there were times when, Amrabat is left back apparently, but there were times when you'd see him play in the midfield, or there were other times when he was filling in at centre back now, and players were changing positions. Now, I don't know if this kind of affects the whole, that was my man 5 minutes ago, but now I'm supposed to take this guy
It's
because I'm in a
confusion.
different position.
Yeah.
So everyone is all over the place. Nobody knows who they're tracking. And yeah, it just doesn't fill me with any confidence. I think we're going to be having these kind of discussions for the next couple of weeks.
I mean, Glenn Hoddle said that on commentary. He said, when you're in possession, in control of the game, these rotations that you're having with Amrabat swapping for Lindelof, pushing out to wing, it's fine. Absolutely fine. When they're on the attack and you're conceding, it's a fucking nightmare for players because everyone's like a headless chicken. They don't know what position to defend in. They're like, oh shit, especially if their front four has like fluidity and rotation. It's just so confusing
And
for
pace.
everyone.
Yeah.
And pace, yeah. Exactly. Ten Hag said some fundamental errors, you can't allow them at this level. We're all together. It's not only one. It's as a team we make errors. We were twice up and you don't expect this outcome. We expect more all together. The players with me all together. Obviously emphasising the word all together there, but that's basically the opposite of what we was on the pitch. We're not together. We're so disjointed. It's unbelievable. Look, unless anyone had any other points that they wanted to make, I'll read out a couple of comments and we can kind of leave it at that because I think we've covered most things on a basis. Heisenberg, if this match will happen in Galatasaray Stadium, they'll be pissing in their pants. Yeah, that's a good point. Can you imagine if that was away at Rams Park? Fucking hell. Shah Sam says the contrast between us and Liverpool when they play with 9 men is just way too huge. That's a good point. Exactly. Liverpool go down against Tottenham or Newcastle and they look like the better team.
Spurs.
We go down 1 and it's just like everyone panics.
Spurs as well. Like, Spurs have fought back a couple of times this season. Like, and got wins. Like, I know the Liverpool one's a little bit controversial, but they've done it a couple of times. Like, we don't have it in us. Like, we just don't have it.
Can't do it with 11.
Adam Emre Sanal says, what do you think about Hannibal? Do you all think he played decent today?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'd like to see him on starting lineup next game.
Him over Scott McTominay any day of the week.
Yeah.
Very happy with him.
Alex Galloway says 4D chess by Ten Hag, make the team lose, plummets the value of the club. Sheikh Jassim offer becomes more valuable by default. The Glazers sell and we win the lot. Keep the faith.
Fucking hell, Alex. Fucking hell.
4D chess.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, let's end it at that because I'd rather end it laughing or almost crying than ending it on a negative. United lose 3-2 to Galatasaray, 0 points from 2 games in our first Champions League. I think it's the first time we've lost at home in a group stage in God knows how long. We're breaking records and not for a good reason, unfortunately. We play Brentford at 3 o'clock on Saturday. We'll have the preview for that probably on Thursday. Loads more content coming your way. So look, very miserable time at the minute for Manchester United. Panic stations. Appreciate the lads coming on and joining me to kind of give our best analysis as we could. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you drop us a follow on social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Real Reds Talk. Everything's on there for you guys. And make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well and leave a like on the video if you thought that performance was dog turd. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. See you later, guys. Take care. In a bit.
We want Blaze House and we want Blaze Out. We want Blaze House and we